Hello and Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nazia Amir and I'm going to discuss a new topic, which is disaster management, and it is a very important topic and the last one of the office administration. Now I'm going to discuss in detail. What is a disaster? A disaster, from Greek meaning bad star, is a natural or man-made event that negatively affects life, property, livelihood or industry, often resulting in permanent changes to human societies, ecosystem and environment. And the other one is disasters manifest as hazards exacerbating vulnerable conditions and exceeding individuals and communities' means to survive and thrive. The common elements. These are the common elements of disaster. Affects people, usually triggered by hazard, directly related to vulnerability, exceeds capacity of household, community or group of people to cope. Social processes play an important role and more to do with society than natural phenomena. Introduction. Here I am going to discuss the industrial disaster and give you the introduction. Industrial disasters are caused by chemical, mechanical, civil, electrical or other process failures due to accidents, negligence or incompetence in an industrial plant, which may spill over to the areas outside the plant, causing damage to life and property. And what is disaster management related to this? Disaster management is a process or strategy that is implemented when any type of catastrophic event takes place. Sometimes referred to as disaster recovery management, the process may be initiated when anything threatens to disrupt normal operations or puts the lives of human beings at risk. Types of industrial disasters. Following are the main types of industrial disasters. Number one, structural collapse caused by poor construction material, engineering faults or several natural disasters. Number two, power failure. Extended power outages which disrupt personal and business activities as well as emergency and rescue services, leading to business losses and medical emergencies. The third one is fire and explosions. Bad working conditions, misuse of power tools, short circuit, explosion in vulnerable areas can result in fire or explosion. And the fourth one is operational / process failures. Occur when industry does not operate according to standard procedures, largely occur as a result of human errors in handling the equipment. Untreated industrial waste or accidental leakage of toxins resulting from human error or deviation from SOP can have disastrous consequences. Major industrial disasters in history. Number one is Minamata disaster. Continuous dumping of waste containing mercury by Chizo Corporation, a fertilizer and petrochemical company located in the city of Minamata on Kyushu Island, Japan. In Minamata Bay from 1932 to 1968 resulted in thousands of deaths. About 27 tons of mercury was dumped in the bay. As of 2001, 2,265 victims of the Minamata disease had been recognized. 1,784 of them had lost their lives and others suffered from physical deformities. Major disaster continues. Number two is Bhopal disaster or Bhopal disaster. The Bhopal disaster of 1984 is one of the worst industrial disasters on record. A faulty tank containing poisonous methyl isocyanate leaked at a Union Carbide plant and left nearly 3,000 people dead initially and at least 15,000 from related illness. The disaster caused the region's human and animal populations severe health problems to the present. Causes of disaster. Now I am going to discuss the causes of disaster. Disaster was a result of a flawed reactor design that was operated with inadequately trained personnel and without proper regard of safety. Industrial disasters in Pakistan. Frequent accidents in factories resulting from negligence in following SOPs. Accidental fires, building collapse resulting from fire or construction faults have caused serious damage to property and loss of life. Some of the major accidents are the Berger factory fire 2008 in Karachi, VIP Chemicals Johor factory fire 2009, resulting from a cylinder explosion that left 20 women workers severely burned, are two recent disasters. Industrial disaster management. Disaster management plans have been developed all over the world. These plans are country-specific, tailored to address the different disasters a particular country faces. Lessons from recent disasters. Lack of disaster preparedness at all levels, lack of mitigation planning, lack of communication, networking and dissemination of information among the states, delayed response due to mismanagement of relief, resources, manpower and duty delegation, lack of interface and coordination with federal government, district administration and community, and the result is huge loss of life and property. Common terminologies. Here are the four main common terminologies for any disaster: hazard, vulnerability, capacity, risk. What is a hazard? A hazard is a physical or human-made event that can potentially trigger a disaster. Examples include earthquakes, mudslides, floods, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, drought, economic collapse and war. These physical events need not necessarily result in disaster. What is human vulnerability? Human vulnerability is the degree to which people are susceptible to loss, damage, suffering and death in the event of a disaster. And this is a function of physical, economic, social, political, technical, ideological, cultural, educational, ecological and institutional conditions. Vulnerability relates to an individual's or community capacity to cope with specific threats. Classification of vulnerabilities. Physical vulnerabilities. Physical vulnerabilities are the hazard-prone location of settlement, insecure and risky sources of livelihood, lack of access to basic production resources such as land, farm inputs and capital, lack of knowledge and information, lack of access to basic services. Social vulnerabilities are reflected in the lack of institutional support structures and leadership, weak family and kinship relations, divisions and conflict within communities, and the absence of decision-making power. Attitudinal vulnerabilities are seen in dependency, resistance towards change and other negative beliefs. People who have low confidence in their ability to effect change or who feel defeated by events are harder hit by disaster than those who have sense of their ability to bring the changes they desire. And the fourth one is economic vulnerabilities pertain to how people make their living and from where they get their livelihood. Determining which type of livelihood is easily affected by disaster. Example, fishing, tricycle driving, etc. is a key issue to be considered in determining the magnitude of economic vulnerability. What is capacity? Capacity is the resources of individuals, households and communities to cope with the threat or resist the impact of a hazard. Risk, the chance of something happening that will have an impact upon objectives. Hazards, here I am going to show a table which describes the risk, which is hazard multiplied by vulnerability minus capacity. Hazard, potential threat to humans and their welfare, multiplied by vulnerability, exposure and susceptibility to loss of life or dignity, and minus capacity, available and potential resources, which is equal to risk, and risk is probability of disaster occurrence. And what is disaster? Realization of a risk. The phases of disaster management. We have four phases of disaster management: response, recovery, mitigation, preparedness. Phases of disaster management in detail. Response to emergency. Response activities follow an emergency or disaster. Generally, they are designed to provide emergency assistance for casualties. They also seek to reduce the probability of secondary damage and to speed recovery operations. The second one is recovery, short and long term. Recovery continues until all systems return to normal or better. Short-term recovery returns vital life support systems to minimum operating standards. Long-term recovery may continue for a number of years after a disaster. Mitigation, which is long-term. Any activities which actually eliminate or reduce the occurrence of a disaster. It also includes long-term activities which reduce the effects of unavoidable disasters. And the last one is preparedness, to respond. Preparedness activities are necessary to the extent that mitigation measures have not or cannot prevent disasters. Government, organizations and individuals develop plans to save lives and minimize disaster damage. Here we are going to show the psychosocial phases of disaster. Psychological life cycle of a disaster is pre-disaster, warning, then impact, then heroic, honeymoon, community cohesion, then disillusionment, then coming to terms, trigger events, adversary reactions, and then reconstruction. Normal stages of the response and recovery cycle for a traumatic accident. Stage 1 is disbelief, stage 2 is anger, stage 3 is sadness, stage 4 is acceptance, and stage 5 is optimism. Mitigation. How risk can be reduced? Hazard reduction. Constructing flood protection, improving drainage, reinforcing hillsides. Vulnerability reduction. Microseismic studies to protect vulnerable areas. Relocation from river banks. Improving health and nutrition. And the last one is vaccination. Mitigation tools. Here I am giving you some tools of mitigation. Laws are a primary tool of mitigation. And then building and zoning codes, plumbing and electrical codes, public health ordinances, fire and life safety codes, hazardous material regulations, inspection regulations, traffic codes. And the second part is land use planning and mapping. Risk mitigation early warning system. Simple rainfall monitoring system along with complementary training allow community members to calculate the threat of flooding, estimated arrival time of flood waters, and to communicate the threat to communities downstream in time to evacuate vulnerable families. What is disaster preparedness? Measures that ensure the readiness and ability of a society to forecast and take precautionary measures in advance of an imminent threat, respond to and cope with disaster effects by organizing and delivering timely and effective assistance. But all of it, participation is essential at all stages. Examples of preparedness activities. Develop and test early warning system, make evacuation plans, establish policies, make operational plans, secure resources, and the last one is training, which is the most important part of preparedness activities. Emergency planning, which is also a part of response. Emergency planning is not a one-time event. Rather, it's a continual cycle of planning, training, exercising, and revision that takes place throughout the 4 phases of the emergency management cycle: mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. Purpose emergency planning. The planning process does have one purpose: the development and maintenance of an up-to-date EOP. An EOP can be defined as a document describing how citizens and property will be protected in a disaster or emergency. Steps of emergency management planning. There are 4 steps in the planning process: hazard analysis, EOP development, testing the plan, plan maintenance, and revision. The hazard analysis process. Hazard analysis determines what can occur, how often it is likely to occur, the damage it is likely to cause, how it is likely to affect the community, how vulnerable the community is to the hazard. The steps in the hazard analysis process are identifying hazards, profile each hazard, develop a community profile, determine vulnerability, create and apply scenarios. Plan review. When you have the plan completed, review each aspect with your local officials and others who have responsible parts to play in its implementation. And the second one is be prepared to make revisions if necessary. Exercising the plan. Orientation, tabletop exercise, functional exercise, field drill, full scale exercise, and publicizing the plan. Publicizing the plan. Local media, speak to community groups, and the last one is handouts. Lining up your resources from government, from the community, from a neighbor, from the private sector. Response. Example. I'm going to give you the example of response. In 1974, as a school bus was transporting children home, a tornado approached. Although the driver did not know what to do, a 7th grade student on the bus did. His teacher had reviewed tornado precautions in class that day. The student convinced the driver to stop the bus and get everyone into a ditch. Although the tornado destroyed the bus, none of the pupils was injured. The references Poster 1980 to 187. Page number 187. Stages of response. There are 5 stages of response to an emergency or disaster: alerting and notification, warning, protecting the citizens and property, providing for the public welfare. It consists of 2 main operations: caring for the people during and immediately after the emergency, assessing damage, and the second part is restoration. Communication and operations go hand in hand. Do and don'ts. So here I am going to explain one by one. So now I am going to give the points of do's. Be accessible, have the latest information, maintain a fact sheet, try to anticipate questions, be genuine, tell what you are going to do, rehearse if possible, have positive message in every answer. And what are the don'ts? Assume they are out to get you, use no comment, go off the record, say this is an exclusive, speculate, estimate activity, characterize people, give another agency response, place blame, permit rumors to go unchallenged, try humor, give in to instant interviews unless you are real sure of facts. Recovery. Recovery continues until all systems return to normal or better. Short-term recovery returns vital life support system to minimum operating standards. And the long-term recovery may continue for a number of years after a disaster. Their purpose is to return life to normal or improved levels. Recovery planning. Gathering basic information, organizing recovery, mobilizing resources for recovery, administering recovery, regulating recovery, coordinating recovery activities, evaluating recovery. Types of assistance. There are so many types of assistance, but here I'm giving you 3: grants, loans or loan guarantees, and the technical assistance. Here I'm going to end my video. So if you like my video, do not forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so you can get notified when I post new content. Thank you.